Hey, y'all, it's your travel bestie, Kat. Welcome back to the podcast. And this is the show where we talk about travel, life, business, and the adventures that help us grow along the way. Today's conversation with Dawn is such an important one because we're talking about something so many women entrepreneurs and solo travelers struggle with: being seen and heard. If you've ever walked into a room and wondered if people notice you, whether that's a boardroom or onto a boat for a vacation, or you just want to learn how to show up with more confidence in your voice and your presence, you're going to love this conversation. So grab your coffee, get comfy, and let's dive in. Join me in welcoming Dawn. How's your day been? What have you been up to?
Well, so far it's been okay, good. It's
Yeah.
Friday, right?
Awesome.
I know. I've been
It's
there's
Friday. Friday.
yeah, since you and I saw each other last, it's been doing a little bit of a rebrand.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say, tell me a little bit about you and who you are and the work you do helping women find their voice and visibility for people who don't know.
Oh, you're so thank you. I appreciate that. Well, in this process, I have I'm evolving. Since our
Hmm.
platinum program, I have something came out of that, and a lot of it was due to listening to Sandra and all of a sudden she said, simplify, let's simplify our message and stuff like that. And I thought, gosh, there's got to be a disconnect in something I am doing. And the reason why I say that is because if you have to explain your title, then there is a
Oh,
disconnect. And I thought, okay, because there's a couple people that I felt like I was explaining too much to, and I'm going, this should be easier, right? So then I just did a little bit of research and working with a business coach right now. And now what came out of that is a global image and presence expert,
ooh.
where image isn't about style, it's about strategy. So I'm loving stepping into that because that's my gig, by the way. And the voice and visibility is my platform, my framework that I will work from. So that is not going away. It's going to stay there, but it's taken it up a level to talk with higher level women that are successful. They've built their success. They earned their credibility, but they still feel like then they're not stepping into that next level.
Hmm. That's
Mhm.
good.
I
Because you work with a
know.
lot of women entrepreneurs. And what do you think is the number one thing holding them back from being visible or successful?
Well, they are successful and they are, they've achieved what they wanted, the title, whatever, they've gotten to the top there. However, what's holding them back is that their presence isn't caught up to who they are stepping into. So there's a little disconnect there where it could be their voice, their image, or their presence that are just not aligned with who they are, and they're not aligned with where they're moving into. So they're still either their voice isn't being heard or their image hasn't caught up to that next level. And I always look back at women that are in the C-suite or women that are stepping into higher levels in their entrepreneur business, whatever that looks like. That's a different look, especially depending on your clientele. Because if your clientele is not, if your clientele is a 6 or 7 figure woman, are you stepping into that or are you staying at small? Because six
Mm.
and seven figures looks different than people that are under 100 or 50 grand a year. That's a different look. That's not stepping into bigger numbers. And people think, well, why should that matter? Because it's perception. It's how
Yeah.
we're perceived. And if you're not perceived at my level, at the higher level, then why would I trust you? So it also is the trust factor there.
Yeah, because some of your work also focuses a lot on voice and presence and how we present ourselves, how we show up that's just as important as what we say, don't you think?
That's totally true. That's totally true. A lot of that is it comes from us being small and not using our voice in a way that's being heard, and we shrink. So if we come into a room or if we come into a, a networking event or you're in a meeting or a high-end boardroom, whatever it may be, if you don't own it when you walk in that room, if you don't walk in with your shoulders down and you're standing tall, you're shrinking. And why should you shrink? You're valuable and you want your value to come across right away. And one of those little tips that I can give you is smile when you walk into the room. Make eye contact and smile at someone because that gives you strength. One, you're there, you want to be there, and two, you're credible. And you should step into that credibility that you have.
That was what I was going to ask you was what were some good tips that you could give people immediately to show confidence? So yay, good job.
Thank you.
Now, what are some mistakes people make with that style and communication as well as personal branding?
I think women get comfortable and they use this term, I'll call it, that I don't care. Why should I care what other people think? If you have a team of any sort, a team as an entrepreneur, a team in your business world, a professional, if you have a team, you should care. You should care about your team and you should care about how you're showing up and how you're being perceived as a leader in that arena. If you're not being perceived at the higher level, the respect is not going to be there. I've seen this happen. I've seen this happen. I've had clients come to me that I've worked with going, how come I am not being seen as a leader in this room? And a lot of it has to do with how you show up, how you are relatable, and then also how you're being perceived in that next level that you're stepping into. I call it authority. There's an authority gap there.
True story right there. I agree with that. So
Yeah.
if someone's listening right now and feels overlooked or undervalued in their career, what's the first thing that they should try, look at, or take a step towards?
I think a good place to start is looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself a question. Am I stepping up to the level that I want to be perceived at? And does my closet represent that level? That's one piece. And then two, does my voice speak like I own this next level up that I'm moving into? Or am I still shrinking like I'm not sure, or I'm not feeling it yet or whatever? Because if you're not feeling it, other people can feel it. People can feel fake it until you make it. And that term came about when Mary Kay Ash was running her business and she
I do
started her
love
business.
her.
Yes, I know, right? And that was great, but you can only fake it for so long. I would change that term to fake it until you become it. And when you become it, you step into that. A lot of what I've done in the past is affirmations. I would put affirmations on my mirrors and all over the place and just reminding myself that I am valuable, that I have value that I want to share with people out there. And in my next level that I'm stepping into, which is the best level I could possibly say, I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this and I'm moving forward. And it isn't changing what I'm doing, it's just stepping it up and elevating yourself. And if
Yeah.
you're ready for that, step into it.
You're just elevating your vision and your practice, what you're doing.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, so I do travel and I love that. And travel can push people outside of their comfort zones too. Have you had a travel experience that helped you grow personally or professionally?
Yes, all of them.
Yay.
I think every time I travel, I have to take a step back. One, about how am I being perceived in my travel wares, by the way. Um, I still want to represent what I do. I don't want to shrink to someone else's level just to make them feel comfortable because that's not who I am. I've I'll just share a little story. When I moved to Arizona, for instance, this is a big thing. It's almost like travel in a way. It was a culture change for me. So when I'm originally from Minnesota, and I everywhere I went, I dressed up. And I looked the part when I left my house. So when I came here, it got very casual. Now, mind you, this was right around when COVID hit. So nobody was dressing up anymore. However, I'm in a very casual community, a golf community. So people around here are always in shorts and t-shirts. Um, and I felt like I was losing my identity. And because I was stepping into what other people were doing. And there was something that was not resonating with me very well. And I could feel it in my body, but I couldn't figure it out until finally it hit me that I'm I'm stepping down to other people's levels instead of stepping into who I am and my identity. And I said, I should never stoop that way because that's not who I am internally and externally. So I love the fact that I recognize that, which I hope other women do when they are moving into different arenas and different cultures and different places. Yes, we do want to be comfortable. I get that word, that comfortable is overused. That word is comfortable is overused a lot. But once you identify your who you are and what you stand for, then that you'll get your identity back. And I did, and I'm glad I did. Oh my gosh, I'm in a whole different arena now, and I love it. And this is what I help my clients with because I know women don't understand the colors they wear, the clothes they put on, the fit, how they fit your body, um, what your closet's made up of, and how to shop for the clothes that really represent who you are and what you're stepping into. So I love that piece, and I love also going even deeper and even more full in using your voice and becoming the visible person that you are meant to be.
Yes, that is so true. And it doesn't matter whether you're stepping into a new country, a new room, or even just an event like the Platinum Summit where we were at. You have to have your mindset set up to show up confidently. What do you
Yes.
think that looks like for each of us? How do we or tune into that mindset?
Tune into your mindset. One is knowing, knowing for sure in your soul who you are and stop apologizing for that. I have been beaten, bullied, and broken in my life. I know what it's like. And apologizing for who I am and how I show up as, I'm done. I'm not apologizing for who I am anymore. And if I can get women there faster than what I did, I'm doing my job. And that's what I love is really getting clear who you are and love who you are. Love who you are in that mirror. When you look in that mirror, you should be saying, I'm beautiful. Even if you don't feel it, say it over and over and over again because beauty is not on the outside, beauty is on the inside. It's from the inside out. And we've all been in places where we've probably been broken, bullied, beaten, whatever it may be in our life, and somewhere in our life, in our jobs, in our marriages, in our family life, wherever it's been. I'm not saying it's taken me a long time for me to get really clear and who that person is. And once was clear, I'm stepping into who I am, not somebody else's version of me. And I don't
I
hang
love
around those
that.
people.
Love that so much. What does success look like for you now compared to earlier in your career?
Never giving up. Never giving up what you were meant to be put on this earth for. I am not settling. I can't settle. I'm not ready to settle. I know I have people around me that say, "When are you going to ever quit?" I am not ready. When the
Never.
good Lord tells me I'm ready, that's when I'm ready.
Love that.
There's too much work for us women to do yet to make our path on this earth.
Okay, I have some fun lightning rounds for you. Are you a
Yeah.
coffee or tea girly?
Oh, I used to drink coffee all the time. Now I changed to tea.
Okay, there's no right or wrong answer.
Healthier.
How about are you a beach or a mountain girl?
Beach.
Me too. I love the beach.
Mhm.
What's the best confidence advice you have to give in one sentence?
Oh, the best confidence advice I can give. Be your true authentic self. I know you hear that a lot lately, but if you can be who you truly are, nothing else matters.
Love that. And what's a book every entrepreneur should read?
Yeah.
Oh, I
Like
know,
so many
right?
books.
Crazy.
Oh, let me see. I guess The Success Principles by Jack Canfield would be one to start with. It,
Okay.
it's it's a big book, but it's an easy read, and you don't have to read it all at once. I would just take a chapter here and there, and it's unreal when you pick up a book and you open up the book, you open it up to where it was meant to be that
I
particular
believe
day.
that. Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what I need to hear.
How about one word you want women to remember about themselves?
I would say beautiful.
I knew you were going to say that. I was hoping you were going to say that.
Did.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right. So, for folks that are listening, if they want to connect with you and learn about more about your work and how you can help them and they can get some more confidence back in their lives, where can they find you?
I am all over the internet, but you can go to my website, Dawn at dawnstebbing.com. I'm on LinkedIn under my name, Dawn Stebbing, and Instagram and Facebook.
Excellent. And what's one final message you want to give women entrepreneurs that they should hear today?
Oh gosh. Step into your true authentic self. Show up, be you, and stop apologizing for what other people want you to be. Be you and be true to you.
I love that. That's amazing. You're awesome.
Thank you. I
Thank you so
appreciate
much for
it.
coming on here and talking to me. I really appreciate it. This is going
Thank
to be
you.
great stuff.